Welcome to today's video. Today I'm doing a deep dive into the 2024 Senate elections. Today's video focuses on the state of California. California, in its voting history in the last three elections for Senate, had 2022, the Democrat winning by 22.1%. 2018, there were two Democratic candidates facing off, so it was only a margin of victory of 8.3%, but all votes in that race did go to a Democratic candidate. And in 2016, same thing, there were two Democratic candidates, including the current Vice President Kamala Harris. That race was won by Harris by 23.2%. That race is actually pretty similar now to what the current polling average of the 2024 Senate races, where the Democrat is up 23.3%. The 8.3% certainly skews the margins, so the average result is only 17.9. There are also some discrepancies with looking at how the Democrat and Republican votes that I'll be explaining later in the video when we get to that part. But at the national Senate vote in 2022, the Republicans actually won nationally at 0.1% of the national vote. In 2018, Democrats led by 19.9% overall nationwide. And in 2016, the Democrats led nationwide by 10.8%. So in the 2024 generic congressional vote right now, the latest polling average has it as 1.8% advantage for the Democrats, and the average margin of victory result nationally for the Senate across these three elections was 10.2%. So when you compare the numbers, in 2022, this Democratic Senate seat voted 22 points more Democratic to the left of the nation overall voting for Senate. In 2018, as I mentioned, the two Democratic candidates going head-to-head, and the way that California does its open primary system, the top two candidates advance. It definitely messes up the numbers of the survey a little bit, but it's okay. I think we'll be able to figure this out and get an accurate representation of what the race will be. This was actually Democrats minus 11.6, so 11 points less than what the national average was in 2018, but it was still a Democratic seat no matter what. So it's really hard to interpret that numbers in a way that looks bad for the Democrats. It's really not exactly what it means, but that's okay. And in 2016, California, the Senate seat, voted 12.4% more Democratic than the nation as a whole. The average vote margin for California, again, it messes up with the 11.6, but it's percent of the vote margin of victory, about 7.6% more than what the national vote is for the Senate across the country as a whole. And for the Real Clear Politics Senate forecast, they have it as a solid Democratic seat. Sabado's Crystal Ball also has it as a safe Democratic seat. Inside Elections has it solid Democrat as well. Decision Desk HQ and The Hill have it as safe Democrat. Cook Political Report also as solid Democrat. So a lot of agreement on how this race is looking. As for the candidates themselves, the two candidates for this race are former Congressman Adam Schiff, he's the Democratic candidate, and the Republican is Steve Garvey. Most interesting fact I know about him is he used to play for the Los Angeles Dodgers, the baseball team, so that's very interesting. He's the Republican nominee, and these two are facing off after winning the state's jungle primary, where the top two vote getters advance to the general election. These two will be facing off, and as I'll show you in a minute, it's expected Schiff is going to win this seat. Now, I picked 5 counties to look at in California that I thought would be very, very interesting to look at, because I think a lot of them, it's the margins in which they vote that I'm most curious in. In Inyo County, it was won by Romney in 2012 by 11.4, 13.5 by Trump in 2016, but it was won by Biden in 2020 by 0.15%. And this one particularly interests me because if we go to the map, we go to California, Inyo County is going to be right here, and as I could show you, it's 48.86 to 48.71 in 2020. Very, very close race, 0.15 as I mentioned. Super close. Only 1.35 for the Libertarian, 1.08 for other candidates. Let's look back to 2016, where Trump got 52.54, Clinton only got 39.02, 8.45% third-party vote. In 2012, Romney won at 54 to 42.58. There was 3.4% third-party vote. It's interesting how much support Biden got in 2020 and was able to flip the county blue, ensured up a lot of third-party support, and took away about 4 percentage points from Trump. So I'm really interested in this county and seeing how Harris does against Trump in 2024. Seeing as California is Kamala Harris's home state, you would think she would be able to improve there, but that remains to be seen. We have to wait until Election Day to find out if that is true or not. But that's certainly an interesting one that I am looking at. Now to Stanislaus County, where in 2012 it voted for Barack Obama by 2.7 points, 1.8 points for Clinton in 2016, and 0.8% in 2020 for Joe Biden. This one is one that I definitely am going to watch just due to the trend of from 2012 to 2016, the Democratic support went down. From 2016 to 2020, the Democratic support went down. I am very interested in seeing if the Democratic support continues to go down or if it reverses the trend and goes back up. This is one I'm watching as a potential flip, where if Trump does better than expected, he could flip this county. And just to show you where Stanislaus is, it's right here. I believe this district might be where Congressman Mike Garcia is representing, although I'm not totally sure about that. But I think he might be representing a district near here. 49.24 to 48.45 back in 2020, super close. Again, not much in third-party support. In 2016, it was 47.43 to 45.60, almost 7% third-party support in this county. That is, I think, a very big reason why Clinton was able to win this county. Trump only getting 45, where in 2020 he got, here it is, he got 48. So that's definitely something to keep an eye out for. And then in 2012, Obama got 50%, Romney got 47.28%. So you can see the Republican in this district is almost always averaging 45 points or above. The question is, how much third-party support is there, and is it enough where Trump can overtake Harris in this county, where the Democrat usually runs between very similar numbers between that 45 to 50%. So it's a very interesting county to keep an eye on. Now to Butte County, where it was a 2-point win for Mitt Romney in 2012, a 3.7% win in 2016, and then a 1.7% win for Joe Biden in 2020. This one I'm very interested in because we saw across the country in 2020 Joe Biden outperform Hillary Clinton numbers in 2016 by a lot, by absolutely a lot. And it's interesting to see in 2024, will Kamala Harris be able to improve on Biden's numbers that he got in 2020, or was the 2020 election in terms of where Biden made the improvements potentially a fluke, and it comes back down more towards the middle into the Republican side than it was before. So that is one I'm certainly watching for. Butte County is going to be right here, this county up here. 49.41 to 47.74 for Biden over Trump in 2020. Let's look at the numbers in 2016, where it's 47.24 for Trump, 43.5 for Clinton, 9.26% third-party vote. Certainly lots in there. That, I think, is a big reason why it flipped in 2020. You're going to have to wait and see what it looks like in 2024. 2012, Romney got 49, Obama got 47, and 4 points of undecided vote. So it's interesting, 49-47. In 2020, it was 49-47, but flipped. This time, Biden had the 49, Trump had the 47. So it's a very interesting county. I'm going to watch that one closely, and I'm interested to see how the vote changes, or maybe even stays the same. That we're going to have to wait and see, but that's an interesting one I'm watching for sure. Fresno County, it's a county Obama won by 1.8%. 2016, Clinton won it by 6.1%. Biden won it in 2020 by 7.8%. It certainly suggests that it's a county that's trending blue. I'm more interested in this than how much is it trending blue. Because Fresno, I believe it's more of a suburban county, and I'm interested to see if this 7.8 is even like a few percentage points smaller. Does that mean Trump is improving his numbers in the suburbs? And that could have down ballot effects, well, not just in California, but also throughout the country, that Trump is improving his suburban numbers. Or if Kamala Harris improves on Biden's 7.8%, could it be a sign that maybe Harris is outperforming Trump in the suburbs by even more than Biden did? So this is more of like a technicality county that I'm watching, but I think there could be some potential either effects or down ballots that maybe may pinpoint certain results to other states around the country. Fresno, you're going to find right here, 7.8% win for Biden in 2020, 52.9, 45.7. Let's look at 2016, 50 to 43.94, so 50 to 44 pretty much in 2016. And then in 2012, 49.89, so 49.9 to 48.10 Romney certainly performing the best out of the last 3 elections in that county. So that's what I'm watching for. It certainly seems like it's trending blue, but I'm interested to see how much is it trending blue by, and is that a sign that Trump's either overperforming or underperforming in the suburbs. I just have one more county now in Riverside, California, where it voted for Obama by 1.7, and then Clinton by 5.4, and Biden by 7.9. It's almost the exact same explanation I gave for Fresno. How much does Harris either underperform or overperform Biden in the suburbs? And does Trump outperform or underperform his margins against Biden in 2020 and 2016? This is one I'm watching for as well. Riverside, you're going to find right here in between San Bernardino and Imperial and San Diego. Riverside, 7.9, 52.98 till 53% to Trump's 45%. 2016 Riverside was 49.73 to 44.35. So Trump's numbers actually from 2016 and 2020 were only a difference of about maybe a little over half a percentage point. So Trump's numbers have remained pretty consistent. It's a Democratic vote that changed. Whereas in 2012, Romney got 40.06, Obama got 49.71. So certainly Romney did the best, or better than Trump in 16 and 20 in this county. I'm interested to see if this continues to trend more blue or maybe swings back more red. So that's what I'm watching for sure. Now to the California Senate Democrat vote. In 2022, the Democrat got 61.1%. In 2018, again, I mentioned this is the weird one where it's 2 Democrats going at it. The leading Democrat, Dianne Feinstein, only got 54.2. So that does certainly mess up the range numbers a little bit, but it's okay because the top numbers are still pretty accurate. 2016, Kamala Harris got 61.6% when she won. The range, after conducting the highest from the lowest and then adding and subtracting those totals to the highest and lowest numbers, got 46.8 to 69%. Barring a massive polling miss, we can certainly expect Schiff will have his numbers come somewhere between 46.8 and 69. Certainly a very large spread. Definitely I'm leaning more towards the higher end of the split due to the 54.2, I think, lowering it drastically. Right now, I have Schiff getting about 61.8%, which is higher than 2022 and a little bit higher than 2016. I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that it is a presidential year, so I expect it to be a little bit higher turnout. And California is a very Democratic state, overly Democratic state, and I think it's pretty much fitting with how the state votes that it's going to be slightly higher than 2016 like it was then. So I have it 61.8 for my guess, for my prediction for the Democrat Adam Schiff. On the Republican side, so I actually went back to 2012 and 2010 to find the last time the Republicans were on the ballot for Senate, in addition to 2022. The Republican in 2022 got 38.9. In 2012, the Republican got 37.5. And in 2010, in a very overwhelmingly Republican wave year, the Republican candidate actually is Carly Fiorina, who ran for president in 2016, when she ran for Senate against Barbara Boxer, then the incumbent Democrat senator. She got 42.2. So again, that 2010 wave year is going to skew the numbers a little bit as well. So that had 32.8 for the low end, 46.9 for the high end. I think I have my prediction right now about 38.2 for Steve Garvey. I think it's slightly worse than 2022, again, in large part due to the fact that it is a presidential year. Voter turnout's higher in the presidential years than midterm years. And in the past, higher turnout certainly benefited the Democrats more than the Republicans. How that goes in 2024, that remains to be seen, because there are certainly a lot of variables in the country right now that are different than 2016 and 2020, so we'll have to wait and see. But usually, especially in Senate races, higher turnout favor the Democrats, so I think the Republican Steve Garvey will do slightly worse than the 2022 numbers, but slightly better than the 2012 Republican numbers, due to the fact that it is probably slightly more Republican than 2012, but not by much. So in my prediction for the 2024 California Senate race, I have Adam Schiff, the Democratic congressman, getting 61.8% of the vote, to Steve Garvey, the Republican challenger, getting 38.2%. That's a margin of victory for Schiff of 23.6% of the vote. That's pretty much in line, a little bit more than the 23.2 won by Harris in 2016. It's also 0.3% more than the current polling average that has it as 23.3. I think the polling average is actually pretty spot on with how I think the race will go. The only thing is I think the margins in the RCP polling average are a little bit small. For instance, I think it's like, I think the numbers are something like 55 55 to like 33 or something. I don't think the numbers are correct. I think they're a little low. I think there's a lot of undecided votes still, but I do think the margin of victory is accurate. So I just added the undecided vote. I also wanted to point out that in a lot of races, there's usually a third candidate running, so they won't always add up to 100. In this one, only the top 2 candidates from the primary advance to the general election. So in California, there will only be 2 candidates, so the numbers have to add up to 100%. That's why Schiff gets 61.8, Garvey gets 38.2, and it adds up to 100. So with that now, I've done 2 Senate seats, 2 Senate deep dives for the 2024 Senate map. Washington and California both are won by the Democrats. Given the composition of the Senate beforehand, the Democrats are now at 30, Republicans are at 38. There have been no changes in the Senate composition from the current Senate to the 2025 Senate as of yet. The next Senate seat I do is most likely going to be the state of Hawaii, as on the presidential side, I'm going to be doing Alaska and Hawaii as well. So the next Senate seat is most likely going to be Hawaii coming up next. So I really hope you please stay tuned for that. That will do it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to give it a like. And if you really liked it, please remember to click the subscribe button. And make sure you turn post notifications on so you always get notified when I post a new video. That way you never miss one. Also, please remember to share this video with your friends and family if you really like the video. And remember to stay tuned because I'll be posting at least one video every single day leading up until Election Day, so I'd really appreciate it if you keep coming back and watching those videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.